My mental health had been rocky. I was on one medication to treat depression that ended up putting me in a forced state of hypomania for about 2 years of my life, and I didn't really know what was going on until COVID. And I didn't know how bad things had gotten until COVID. And I recognized that I needed to get help or I'd die. Thinking back on my life, I know that I was exhibiting signs of bipolar from a very young age. And they were often overlooked or written off as me just being a kid that was unruly or didn't listen. And I had signs of ADHD from a very young age, but it was just I didn't pay attention, I didn't listen. And those missed things, the not being good enough, not trying hard enough, it led to some pretty deep depression. And the first time I remember wanting to take my life was when I was 12. And it happened again and again and again of just that feeling coming back and coming back and coming back. And I never really said anything, so I was afraid to. And I was afraid that I would be locked up or ostracized or just no one would want to be around me. And so I just lived with it, and I kept it quiet and I kept it bottled up. And I didn't really know what was going on. And at a certain point, I just thought everyone had trouble focusing and got numbers mixed up and didn't want to live sometimes. So I normalized it within myself, while also stigmatizing myself. And as I got older, my bipolar symptoms got worse and worse. And I was exhibiting hypomanic symptoms and major depressive, and I know that now. And I've talked with my parents and they can think back and see it. But it wasn't until COVID, really, that COVID kind of saved my life in a sense, is I was forced to be alone. And my mental health had been rocky. I was on one medication to treat depression that ended up putting me in a forced state of hypomania for about 2 years of my life, and I didn't really know what was going on until COVID. And I didn't know how bad things had gotten until COVID. And I recognized that I needed to get help or I'd die. So I got help. And it was scary because it was admitting that there's something wrong. And I'd been to therapy before, but the therapist I went to before, it was when I was 17, and she was very dismissive. And she was dismissive of my PTSD and dismissive of my depression and dismissive of my anxiety and the things that I was bringing to her, so I just dismissed it. And then I saw a counselor that was like, hey, you need help, let's get you help. And I talked with her more, and she said, hey, you are showing some signs of bipolar. We need to get you to someone who can really help you with this. So she helped me find a therapist that specialized with bipolar and ADHD and PTSD, and I got help. And I saw a psychiatrist that recognized the medication I was on was negatively impacting my mental health. And she diagnosed me with bipolar and took me off the meds as quick as she could. And I had ups and downs, trial and error. That's what happens when you're dealing with medication. But after 2 years of just COVID's happening, I have nothing else going on in my life. I'm going to do everything I can to keep myself alive. I'm here, and I have found stability, and it's been a long journey with so many other things that have happened, and I'm here. I learned about NAMI through one of my classes. So I joined the Young Adult Support Group and was just so open about who they are and so welcome and accepting. One of the leaders was openly non-binary, and share their pronouns, and I felt comfortable sharing mine. And I felt comfortable talking about being queer and about my sexuality and how that impacted my mental health and how my mental health impacted sexuality. And it was very welcoming. And so I came back. And I finally found a group where I felt seen and heard, and where I felt capable of exploring myself and encouraged to really share what was going on in my life. And I mean, that group got me through a lot. Being in a NAMI young adult support group makes me feel valid and seen. There have been interesting experiences that have happened, and a very traumatic one about a year ago that does deal with adjacently my sexuality. And I brought it to the group, and knowing that I wasn't alone in experiencing it, I wasn't the only one, it really helped. And I've met some of my best friends in this work group. When you have the ability to open up to someone so much and they are accepting of you, and there's not that stigma, they don't see you as your mental illness, they see you as a person. There's nothing like it. And those are the best friendships, when you have full support from someone and they get it. What NAMI means to me is giving younger generations a better start at life. It means breaking down the stigmas, not just for me, not just for others and my peers, but for the younger people coming up, for the 12-year-old that's sitting in their room thinking that the thoughts going on in their head are normal, or that they're different because of it, or that they should feel shame. It's starting that conversation so that younger generations know it's okay to talk about it. It's okay to ask for help. To me, NAMI is being seen. It's validation. It's breaking stigmas. It's being seen as a person, not as an illness. I found a family in NAMI. I found a family of all sorts of people on all ends of every spectrum in the best way possible. I want the LGBTQAI plus people, especially the youth, to know it's okay to live as your authentic self. You can live as you are and be loved as you are. And you're valid.
Thank you.